To understand what the BRICS expansion could mean, Patrick Bond joins us from Johannesburg. He's a professor of sociology and a political economist at the University of Johannesburg. Prof, good to have you on the program. When we look at the 6 new BRICS members, why were these countries chosen in particular, given that so many nations have expressed interest in joining this group?
Thanks for having me. It's a very confusing situation because 23 were formal candidates. 2 of the 6 that were chosen are already in the process through the BRICS New Development Bank as members, those being Egypt and the United Arab Emirates. But the rest of the logic we're all confounded by. In fact, there may be as many as 44 countries, we hope Turkey among them, that could be potentially included. But the main problem is that the 6 chosen are quite unstable. So in Ethiopia, there's a civil war. Argentina seems to be moving very far to the right. There may even be a Bolsonaro-type candidate winning the October presidential election. And then in the Middle East, the 3 countries, UAE and Saudi Arabia, plus Iran, had been at loggerheads and a proxy war in Yemen until China had made some peace between Saudi Arabia and Iran. But the crucial thing is whether we are going to see anything in these particular members that drives forward a broader agenda of global reform, especially around weakening the power of the US dollar and the Federal Reserve, which is, I think, more generally seen to be in need of a major overhaul because the Fed has really abused that power of printing money and then raising interest rates and financially deregulating. So we still remain to be seen what's going to happen with that agenda because it seemed to take a step to the side and none of the expectations for de-dollarization have appeared so far.
Yeah, and the BRICS was really started as an economic group. It has expanded, of course, to include so much of the geopolitics. And given what's happening in the world right now, it makes one wonder, as BRICS expands, how do you keep everyone on the same page, given that some of the countries within the group are at loggerheads already?
Well, that's right. So India and China have had these border conflicts in the Himalaya Mountains, and scores of troops have died for the past 6 or 7 years, and that doesn't seem to be anywhere near resolution. And in addition, there's a difference of opinion in the existing 5 BRICS over how to treat Russia's invasion of Ukraine, because the Brazilians have been most forthright, not only under Bolsonaro, but under Lula since early January, in really calling for the withdrawal of troops and the immediate ceasefire. And maybe this turmoil with the Wagner group maybe being beheaded may change the balance of forces. But it is a desperate time, as President Cyril Ramaphosa of South Africa pointed out, a desperate time to really get some sort of peace discussions. And the new BRICS will probably balance out because Saudi Arabia has been trying to help Ukraine to put together a coalition of peace supporters. But on the other hand, Iran has been supplying many of those very lethal drones. So we're going to see still some uncertainty on the big geopolitical questions of the day.
And Professor, some see this group as an anti-Western movement. Is that really the case, though? There are still many of these countries who have strong economic ties to the United States and to Europe.
And I think that's exactly why they couldn't move forward with the de-dollarization. There's just too much of an interest. I would even call it financial imperialism, having brought a sub-imperial network in so deep that they can't really get out. Even China's invested with about $3 trillion in different kinds of US dollar assets. And you know, it makes me think that the way you described it at the beginning is interesting, to have unipolar, bipolar, or multipolar. There's another option, which is non-polar. And I think broader societal interest, given the high carbon intensity of these new members, plus the desperate need to de-dollarize, but not much moving from the BRICS,